Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, soldiers, families, and friends. Welcome to the change of responsibility for the Regional Training Site Maintenance. Today we honor Sergeant Major Derrick Durham as he relinquishes responsibility to Sergeant Major Ronald Howard. The officiating non-commissioned officer for today's ceremony is Command Sergeant Major Brian Slaughter, Command Sergeant Major, 3rd Brigade, 94th Training Division. Special guests in attendance today are Colonel Hoban, Commander, 3rd Brigade, 94th Training Division, Colonel Bender, Command Sergeant Major McKissick, Command Sergeant Major 5th Battalion, Ordnance 80th Regiment, Major Rosario, Commandant RTSM Fort McCoy, Sergeant Major Velez, Chief Operations NCO, RTSM Fort McCoy, Major Bolacher, Commandant RTSM Fort Devens, Sergeant Major Haynes, Chief Operations NCO, RTSM Devens, Sergeant Major Parker, S2 Sergeant Major, U.S. Army Asymmetric Warfare Group, Sergeant Major Cortez, RTSM Fort Hood, Sergeant Major, and Mr. Shiles, SSA 378 CSSB. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the entrance of the official party and remain standing for the playing of the national anthem and invocation.
Let's pray. O eternal God, we invoke your blessings on this ceremony, those who are participants and those who have gathered here to witness this ceremony. As Sergeant Major Durham's time comes to an end and his tenure as RTSM Sergeant Major, we look back and are thankful for his concern for his troops, for his example as a leader, and for his loyalty to his superiors, his peers, and his subordinates. Lord, it has been a privilege working with him. Thank you for allowing him to come our way. We ask you to grant our incoming Sergeant Major Howard, the gifts of wisdom, courage, and strength. May his time at the RTSM Fort Indian Town Gap be one of blessing for him and for all the soldiers of the 94th Training Brigade. May he always strive to assist every member of this unit to grow and develop so that each can be the person that you intend them to be. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. At this time, Sergeant First Class Purnell will now present a bouquet of red roses to Mrs. Durham to signify on behalf of the command as a token of appreciation for her support while they have been a part of the Regional Training Site military family. Sergeant First Class Free will now present a bouquet of yellow roses to Mrs. Howard to signify the warm relationship that exists here at the command and to welcome her to the unit. Sergeant Major Derrick Durham, a native of St. Louis, Missouri, enlisted in the United States Army Reserve August 7, 1986, as a truck driver, MOS 64 Charlie, which is currently an 88 Mike. He attended basic training and advanced individual training at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri in 1986. In 1992, Sergeant Major Durham joined the Active Guard Reserve program where he served as a truck driver, squad leader, assistant truck master, and training NCO. He later changed his MOS to 63 Bravo, light wheel vehicle mechanic, where he served as a motor sergeant, section sergeant, battalion maintenance supervisor, and brigade senior maintenance supervisor. His assignments include the 892nd Transportation Company, Belleville, Illinois, 724th Transportation Company, Peoria, Illinois, 287th Transportation Company, Livingston, Alabama, 180th Transportation Company, Muskegon, Michigan, 160th Military Police Battalion, Tallahassee, Florida, the 2nd of the 347th Logistical Support Battalion, Camp Blanding, Florida, 497th Combat Sustainment Support Battalion, Salem, Virginia, 359th Theater Tactical Signal Brigade, Fort Gordon, Georgia, United States Army Sergeant Major Academy, Fort Bliss, Texas, and Regional Training Site Maintenance, Annville, Pennsylvania, where he is currently the Chief Operations NCO. Sergeant Major Durham's military education includes the Company Maintenance Course, Logistics Sustainment Course, Manager Development Course, ATARS Basic Course, Hazardous Material Course, USAR Pay Admin Course, Basic Computer Course, Master Fitness Course, Warrior Leader Course, Advanced Leaders Course, Seniors Leaders Course, Senior Enlisted Joint Course, Master Resilience Course, and the First Sergeant Course. Sergeant Major Durham is a graduate of the United States Army Sergeant Majors Academy, class number 65. His civilian education includes a Bachelor in Organizational Leadership from Columbia Southern University, and he is pursuing a Master's in Science Management from Excelsior College. Sergeant Major Durham's award and decorations include the Meritorious Service Medal, the Army Accommodation Medal, the Army Achievement Award, Good Conduct Medal, National Defense Service Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Southwest Asia Medal with a Bronze Star, Kuwait Liberation Medal, NCO Professional Development Ribbon, Armed Forces Ribbon, Combat Action Badge, Driver Mechanics Badge, Meritorious Unit Citation, and the German Armed Forces Proficiency Badge. Sergeant Major Durham resides in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and has been married to Angela for 28 years. Today they have 4 children, Derrick 28, Derrick Jr. 24, Darion 22, and D'Angelo 17. The incoming Sergeant Major Ronald E. Howard. Sergeant Major Ronald E. Howard was born in New Brunswick, New Jersey, and began his Army career in June 1993 as a cannon crewman attending basic training and advanced individual training at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. He has served as a cannon crewman, heavy wheel vehicle mechanic, a track mechanic, company training NCO, brigade Army training requirements and resource system management, physical security manager, standard Army maintenance system enhanced manager, company first sergeant, brigade senior maintenance NCO, master resilience trainer, and sergeant major. His stateside assignments include Charlie Battery, 3-8 Field Artillery, Fort Bragg, North Carolina, 226 Maintenance Company, Fort Sill, Oklahoma, 449th Maintenance Company, Fort Tilton, Rockaway, New York, 77th Regional Training Support Command, Fort Totten, Queens, New York, 3rd of 399th Quartermaster Battalion, Sturtevant, Wisconsin, 398 Maintenance Company, Heavy Support, Winterville, North Carolina, 362nd Quartermaster Battalion, Winterville, North Carolina, 338th Medical Brigade, Horsham, Pennsylvania. Overseas assignments include 2nd Battalion, 17th Field Artillery, Camp Palem, Korea, 396 Maintenance Company, Dernstein, Germany, and Iraq. His military education includes field artillery, the Army Maintenance Management System, collateral safety, CFC, HCFC refrigerant, company training, training management course, standard Army Maintenance System Enhanced Manager course, ATARS, SAMS 1E, PLDC, BNOC, ANOC, First Sergeant course, heavy wheeled vehicle mechanic course, and Master Resilience Trainer. His awards and decorations include the Samuel Thorpe Ordnance Award, Meritorious Service Medal, the Army Accommodation Medal, the Army Achievement Medal, the Army Reserve Component Achievement Medal, Good Conduct Medal, Southwest Asia Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, the Korean Defense Service Medal, Armed Forces Reserve Medal, National Defense Service Medal, Non-Commissioned Officers Professional Development Ribbon, Army Service Ribbon, Overseas Ribbon, National Defense Service Ribbon, the Army Reserve Overseas, Kuwait Liberation Medal, Driver's Mechanic Badge. Civilian education, he has a bachelor's degree in business, certificate of completion for basic, intermediate, and advanced welding, certificate of completion for emergency medical technician. And he resides in Winterville, North Carolina with his lovely wife, Marisol. Command Sergeant Major Brian Slaughter. Command Sergeant Major Brian Slaughter was born November 6, 1969 in Huntertown, Indiana. He currently has over 30 years of service as a non-commissioned officer. He served on active duty during Desert Storm at Fort Benning, Georgia, as an infantry OSUT drill sergeant, Operation Iraqi Freedom at Fallujah, Iraq, as an NCOIC of the Battalion MIT OIF at Fort Knox, Kentucky, as First Sergeant of the Drill Sergeant School, and Operation Enduring Freedom at Fort Benning, Georgia, as First Sergeant of the Infantry OSUT Basic Training Company. The Command Sergeant Major of the Transportation Battalion, Command Sergeant Major of the Public Affairs Battalion, and now Command Sergeant Major of 3rd Brigade. His assignments include Drill Sergeant, Senior Drill Sergeant Leader, Senior Drill Sergeant Leader, Chief Instructor, First Sergeant, Battalion Command Sergeant Major, and Brigade Command Sergeant Major. His military education includes Sergeant Major's Academy, First Sergeant's Course, Drill Sergeant School, Airborne, Air Assault, Rappel Master School, Infantry Basic Training, Primary Leadership Development Course, Basic Non-Commissioned Officers Course, Advanced Non-Commissioned Officers Course, Tow Gunner Training, Equal Opportunity Representative Course, and Unit Prevention Leader Course. Command Sergeant Major Slaughter's decorations include the Bronze Star Medal, Purple Heart, Meritorious Service Medal with 1 oak leaf cluster, Army Accommodation Medal with 5 oak leaf clusters, Army Achievement Medal with 4 oak leaf clusters, Army Good Conduct Medal, Reserve Component Achievement Medal with 6 oak leaf clusters, National Defense Service Medal with 2 stars, Iraq Campaign Medal with 2 stars, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Armed Forces Reserve Service Medal with Silver Hourglass, M Device, and numeral 3, NCO Professional Development Ribbon with 3, Army Service Ribbon, Overseas Service Ribbon, Reserve Component Overseas Training Ribbon, NATO Medal, Combat Infantry Badge, Airborne, Air Assault, and Joint Meritorious Unit Award. Command Sergeant Major Slaughter has a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering from Purdue University, as employed as a Veterans Administrator at Veterans Administration Hospital in Fort Wayne, Indiana, as an Assistant Chief. He resides in Huntertown, Indiana, with his wife Jennifer of 23 years, daughter Whitney 20, and son Colin 17. At this time, Major Miller will present a gift from the Regional Training Site Maintenance.
present you with our hand forged server. It says on the back, presented to Sergeant Major Derrick Durham for the leadership and many contributions to the regional training site maintenance, Fort Indiantown Gap, Pennsylvania, 3 August 15 through 28 August 17. Balaam Dopp. Of course, for all your hard work during the German Proficiency Badge and mentoring of those great soldiers. Thank you.
At this time, Command Sergeant Major Eskandari will present a gift.
Sergeant Major Durham and I got to be battle buddies over the past couple of years. I was the 5080th Sergeant Major. Sergeant Major McKissick is now that Sergeant Major. But during that time, I got to learn a lot about Sergeant Major Durham and his methods of doing things. He's always looked out for the soldiers, he's looked out for the battalion, and he's looked out for the RTSM. He has set his mark on this RTSM and with the battalion in all that he has done. He took on tasks that were given to him from previous leadership and took it to a whole nother level. Last year, or this most recent German Armed Forces Proficiency Badge, he participated and completed his gold to receive his gold medal, and it was quite an accomplishment, along with making sure that that great event took place and was done at a higher level. I will never forget Sergeant Major Durham, and I always look to him for advice when I need it, and I hope that he will continue to lead soldiers and provide something for them that is above and beyond. Sergeant Major McKissick.
Well, thank you for all the hard work and all the contribution, and thank you for all the soldiers for our peace. Really appreciate it. Move forward and do the same. Take care of soldiers.
This flag was flown over the Pentagon on July 4th this year.
At this time, Command Sergeant Major Slaughter will present Sergeant Major Durham with a saber sword.
In 3rd Brigade, at the Sergeant Major level, our tradition is that we present each outgoing Sergeant Major with the sword. And just want to say thank you for your service, thank you for everything you've done. Good luck in your future. I know you're getting closer to home. You're not quite there yet, but you're getting closer. So thank you for everything you've done, and you set Sergeant Major Howard up for great success here at the RTSM. Well, thank you.
The Regional Training Site Maintenance Fort Indiantown Gap inherits a rich tradition of providing ordnance-focused MOS training, NCOES training, and functional training for 91 Bravo, 91 Delta soldiers. In the short time of its existence, its soldiers have built a respected reputation for bringing timely, capable, and professional training support to the Army and the active component, Army Reserve, and National Guard. From ancient times, armies throughout the world have conducted ceremonies to commemorate victories over enemies, honor comrades in arms, and celebrate special occasions as we are doing today. These ceremonies have added color and pageantry to military life while preserving tradition and stimulating esprit de corps. The Continental Army established the foundation by which our present-day ceremonies are performed, and today's ceremonies is an enactment of an Army tradition that is over 240 years old. It reaffirms the concept that the Army is perpetuated on time-honored values and traditions and not on individual accomplishments. Today, the guidon bearer is Sergeant First Class Quiles, instructor for the RTSM. The guidon represents the Regional Training Site Maintenance for Indiantown Gap and not only symbolize the heritage and history of the unit, but also the unity and loyalty of its soldiers. The keeper of the guidon is the Sergeant Major as a senior enlisted advisor to the commander. At this time, Command Sergeant Major Slaughter joins Sergeant Major Durham and Sergeant Major Howard for the passing of the Regional Training Site Maintenance Guidon. Effective 7 August 2017, Sergeant Major Derrick Durham relinquishes responsibility of the Regional Training Site Maintenance for Indiantown Gap by authority of the United States Army Human Resources Command. Sergeant Major Ronald E. Howard assumes responsibility as the Chief Operations NCO for the Regional Training Site Maintenance. The guidon bearer passes the guidon to Sergeant Major Durham in final deference to his authority and leadership. Sergeant Major Durham then passes the guidon to Command Sergeant Major Slaughter, signifying the relinquishment of his duties and his gratitude for the opportunity to care for the soldiers, Department of the Army, and family members of the Regional Training Site Maintenance. Command Sergeant Major Slaughter passes the guidon to Sergeant Major Howard, delegating authority and entrusting him with the responsibility and care of the unit. Sergeant Major Howard passes the guidon back to the guidon bearer, symbolizing his dedication to the soldiers assigned to the Regional Training Site Maintenance and the continuity of the non-commissioned officer support channel. Ladies and gentlemen, Brigade Command Sergeant Major Slaughter.
Good morning. I'd like to welcome all distinguished guests, family, friends, and soldiers of the RTSM. I don't claim to be a great motivational speaker, but the one thing you will find in me is my speeches are generally very short. I'd like to thank Sergeant Major Durham for everything that you've done for the RTSM here, and thank you for everything what you've set up and how you've run the German Armed Forces proficiency badges, and that's a great tradition that you've got started. We will continue that. I want to challenge Sergeant Major Howard. You've got big shoes to fill here. All right, you've got some great things that you're already set up for success. You just need to continue on with that and drive forward. If I can get my cards to come apart. The NCO chain is the backbone of the Army. Some people will say that it's broken. I disagree with that statement. We may have swayed, we're not as strong as we used to be, but I believe we can get back to where we need to be and make it even stronger for the future. All right? That's why I want to challenge all NCOs to handle as many things as you can at your level. All right? We need to solve the problems at the lowest level possible so that we can get them solved early and get them solved fast. Right? NCOs take care of soldiers. They complete tasks, ask questions, make on-the-spot corrections, and they carry out the commander's intent. I think that these might be mentioned somewhere in some creed, something that goes along like, no one is more professional than I. My two basic responsibilities are the completion of my mission and the care for soldiers. And officers will have maximum time to complete their mission because they will not take care of mine. I think I've mentioned those already, earlier in this speech. So again, I challenge all the soldiers, take charge, make things happen, and move the Army forward and make the backbone stronger. Thank you, and God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of the regional training site, Major Michael Miller.
Good morning, sir, ma'am, distinguished guests, NCOs. So basically, leaders are judged on the 80% that they do every day, right? So what we do is what makes us accomplish the tasks. But what we're supposed to focus on is that additional 20%, right? This is what makes us better. It's what makes us move forward as a unit. So this could be the newest 05 or E5, or it could be the newest 01, or it could be the most senior NCO or officer in the unit. The difference is Sergeant Major knows his 20%. He's taken the unit from what he's supposed to do every day, and he adds that little bit at the end of the day. So 1 year ago yesterday, we basically stood right here holding a similar ceremony as Major Simmers and his family prepared for their next adventure. That's basically when my story and Sergeant Major's began. So Major Simmers and I had served together about 6 years ago when I learned that I was going to be assigned here, and I give him a call and said, so how's the unit? How's everything going there, right? I mean, we always reach out to the unit and we find out, how's it going to be? We want to know the good, we want to know the bad, and we hope to goodness we don't ever hear about any ugly, right? So that's when I started hearing about this guy, Sergeant Major Durham, and how much he'd improved the unit over the last year. I mean, Major Simmers and he and I, like I said, I trusted what he had to say. So now fast forward, 28 July. So 1 week before I'm supposed to get in this position, right? So what's the first email I get from Sergeant Major? Yeah, you guessed it. It was a request for a pass. And I'm like, what? We're already going this? Yep, so I know what you're thinking. Yeah, I was too. But this epitomizes Sergeant Major. Why? Because he is all about family. That's who he is. He lives it. He breathes it. It just makes him who he is. It doesn't have to do whether it's his true family for almost 30 years, whether it's his lifetime family of 52 plus years, or whether it's his Army family for 30 years. That's just how he lives his life. He's all about personal relationships. He'll tell you how proud he is of the watch that he got from his daughter. He'll tell you how he's sleeping about on the couch because his son's up here for a football camp. Or he'll tell you about how proud he is of his son being on the front page of the newspaper for dental school. Or he'll tell you about how he, or you can hear him talking to his granddaughter through the phone. Right? They got this fancy little camera thing in their house, and he'd be like, "Hey, what you doing?" Or he'll tell you about the long weekend he had when he went home, and he had to clean out the shed, and he came across all the memories about him and his wife. Or it could just be how giddy he got because, hey, my father's coming down to the change of command. He is just all about family. But the thing is, he'll mentor and he'll challenge everybody on a daily basis. So I talked about how Major Simmers and I had talked about how much the unit had improved since he first arrived. The challenges are irrelevant because it's leadership. In the Army, that's what makes the difference, right? It's can you come in and take the challenges that you have and make it better? Put your stamp on it. So leaders that truly care are those that care about those who they're charged to teach and mentor. These teams, whether it's his personal family or his Army family, are better because he does not hold back, right? He could be yelling your name down the hall because he likes to do that. It could be that he's quietly taking you into his room and he's had a one-on-one just to find out your state of mind or how you're doing. But it doesn't matter. He'll give you his best to help you fulfill your potential. It's just the way he does it. He truly believes that the last sentence in the NCO Creed that says, "I will not forget, nor will I ever allow my comrades to forget that we are professionals, non-commissioned officers, leaders." To Sergeant Major Howard and your lovely wife Marisol, welcome. Your new team knows how to do their job, and most of all, they care about their 3-week teams. I challenge you, find your 20% and improve the teams. Go ordnance, train and maintain the force. We're out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the outgoing Sergeant Major Derrick Durham.
Colonel Hoban, Colonel Bender, Major Miller, Major Bolliker, Command Sergeant Major Slaughter, Command Sergeant Major Escudero, Command Sergeant Major McKissick, Sergeant Major Cortez, Command Sergeant Major Parker, Sergeant Major Haynes, Sergeant Major Anthony, Sergeant Major Velez, soldiers, support personnel, friends, families, and the bros of Omega Phi Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, Kappa Omega Chapter. Good morning. My intent is to be brief, not because I don't have much to say, but because I've been where you are today. And throughout my career, I've been taught to be brief, be good, and be gone. First of all, I would like to thank my family. To my wife, Angie, you are the glue that holds our family together. Thank you for being patient, understanding, and flexible. Being a military spouse can be very difficult, but in my eyes, you are truly the hero, and I love you. To my dad, Pop, man, you are the epitome of what I always wanted to be. Thanks for that unconditional love and raising me to be the man that I am today. August 7th, 1986, 31 years ago, a city boy from St. Louis, Missouri, raised his right hand and said that I would support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America. Who would have thought that I would be standing at this podium 31 years later as your Sergeant Major delivering my change of responsibility speech? I just want to take this time to thank God for allowing me the opportunity to follow such a great career. I remember my first month here as a Sergeant Major of the RTSM. Let's just say we've come a long way. With such a diverse team, we've been able to complete every task and mission without failure. This is a result of everyone working together and doing their part as a team. To my instructors, through your long hours, from day one to graduation day, you have given me your all. Some days, it took a little extra Sergeant Major love to get you on the right track. However, it all worked out in the end. Thank you. To my staff, your potential, compassion, and hard work are among the best. You have completed every task by ordering supplies, personnel actions, awards, coordinating training, POI scrubs, managing property, and the list goes on and on. No one person can do this on their own, and I was proud to have you on my team. I understand what my instructors and my staff go through, and I'm extremely proud of the accomplishments. Keep doing great things, taking care of soldiers, mentoring students, continue to make this organization the best one Army school system in the United States Army and Army Reserve. Last but not least, my right-hand man, my battle buddy, Major Miller. Sir, I could have not asked for a better commander than yourself. Your avenue approach on management has opened my eyes up tremendously. You are a strategic thinker, and your primary goal is to take this organization to the next level. With Sergeant Major Howard on board, I'm pretty sure you will not have any problems doing so. Hopefully, he understands all those spreadsheets, those diagrams, and those schematics that are posted on my board. You are truly a professional, and I thank you for trusting me and allowing me to do my job as your Sergeant Major. Together, we have trained over 624 soldiers, from 54 ordnance courses to include 27 MOSs, 22 NCOESs, and 18 functional courses, supporting the mission readiness of 31 National Guard units and 27 Army Reserve commands, with 948 accident-free days. Now that's teamwork. Has it ever occurred to you that a change of responsibility is a bit like a relay race? Well, today I'm handing over the baton to Sergeant Major Howard. I do so with mixed emotions, a sense of pride, a sense of honor, and a sense of regret. Pride because of your dedication to duty, your drive, and your meticulous approach to the accomplishments of whatever mission given, and the discipline you've shown time and time again. A sense of honor because I am deeply humbled to be a leader of such an outstanding organization. A sense of regret because this chapter of my life is closing and I will miss the many hours serving with you. I'm sad to be leaving. However, I'm looking forward to my new position as a Senior Enlisted Advisor for the United States Army Center for Initial Military Training. I suppose, like every member of the military, I relish a challenge. Otherwise, we wouldn't have taken this particular career. Sergeant Major Howard is also a man who likes challenge. He is an experienced soldier, and I'm sure he will add his own special touch to this organization. There is no doubt in my military mind that you will give him and his family the same dignity and respect that you have genuinely given me. Over the past 2 years, I've learned a lot. That may sound strange because it was my job to lead, to show you how things were supposed to be done. However, I found out that you are already leaders, and it's because of you that we're successful. Your unwavering dedication and professionalism is greatly appreciated. The camaraderie you showed is one of the memories that I will cherish forever. And whenever I find myself in a situation where Sergeant Major Durham is about to explode, I'm going to think about the leadership that was provided at the RTSM, and I will definitely see it through. Before I take my seat, I would like to share one final thought with my soldiers. Don't ever forget that no one is more professional than you are. You are a non-commissioned officer. You all are leaders of soldiers. As non-commissioned officers, you should realize that you are members of a time-honored corps, which is known as the backbone of the Army. You should be proud of the corps of non-commissioned officers and always conduct yourself as to bring credit upon the corps, the military services, and your country, regardless of the situation in which you find yourself. Don't ever use your grade or position to attain pleasure, profit, or personal safety. Competence should always be your watchword. I understand you have a bunch of responsibilities and you have 10 or 15 additional duties, but there are 2 basic responsibilities that should always be uppermost in your mind: accomplishing your mission and the welfare of your soldiers. Continue to strive to remain tactically and technically proficient. I know that you are aware of your role as a non-commissioned officer. Continue to fulfill the responsibilities that are inherited in that role. All soldiers are entitled to outstanding leadership. I say again, all soldiers are entitled to outstanding leadership. Continue to provide that leadership. Know your soldiers and always place their needs above your own. Communication is a must. So communicate consistently with your soldiers and never leave them uninformed. Be fair but impartial when you recommend both rewards and punishments. The officers of your units, they should have maximum time to accomplish their duties. They should never have to accomplish yours. However, you have earned their respect and confidence as well as those of your soldiers. Continue to be loyal to those whom you serve, senior, peers, and subordinates alike. Don't forget to exercise that initiative by taking the appropriate action in the absence of orders. Don't never, ever, ever, ever compromise your integrity nor your moral courage. I will not forget, nor will I allow you to forget, that you are professional, non-commissioned officers, leaders. Sentinel 7, signing out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Sergeant Major of the Regional Training Site Maintenance, Sergeant Major Ronald Lee Howard.
I'm going to keep this real short and sweet. Good morning to you all. I'm truly honored, and it's a privilege to be here to stand before you. As the Chief Operations Sergeant Major of the 80th Regional Training Site Maintenance of Indiantown, Gap. First, I want to thank my wife for being here, for support. I cannot do it without my wife, without your family. Next, I want to thank the special guests here, Colonel Holden, Colonel Bender, and all the sergeant majors and command sergeant majors that are here to support this change of responsibility. Major Miller, I'm here for you. I will make sure you have what you need to continue to move forward. Soldiers who stand in front of me, it's your responsibility to understand your responsibility. Staff, I need your support. This cannot be accomplished without your support. Our main goal is here is to support our officers to accomplish their mission. We cannot do that unless we know our jobs. Serenity 7, out. Signing in.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the benediction, playing of the Army song, and the departure of the official party.
Let us pray. May the Spirit of God be near you to defend you, within you to refresh you, around you to preserve you, before you to guide you, behind you to justify you, and above you to bless you forevermore. Amen.
We
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Please join Sergeant Major Howard and his wife, Mrs. Howard, Sergeant Major Durham and his wife, Mrs. Durham, for refreshments in the conference room. Thank you for your attendance and have a wonderful day.